My name is Maria Cabral de Pont Lawton, and I was born in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, on the island of San Miguel Azores, in the village of Rosar de Lagoa, where both sides of my family have lived for several centuries. Like many families of this generation, we immigrated to America when I was just 6 years old. The decision to immigrate is not for the faint of heart. My father always said how hard of a decision it was to leave his home and especially his family. My parents settled in New England to be near my mother's side of the family and siblings. And just like that, I became a Portuguese American. What I remember most about growing up in a Portuguese family was that food was a way to show love, kindness, and friendship. I have fond memories of sitting at a table after dinner, talking and laughing for hours. Recreating and preserving that time in my life led me to write my first cookbook, based on my family recipes, special dishes, and my experiences around that table with my family. Now with this new television series, I have a way to share my passion for food and my culture with the rest of the world. Being Portuguese and growing up in America is something I am so proud of. And what better way to start our series off than with a look at the origins of the Portuguese experience in America. To do this, we head to Providence, Rhode Island, to a campus of Rhode Island College for a little education from Marie Fraley, director of the Institute for Portuguese and Lusophone Studies.
I just want to say thank you. Thank you for taking the time today to meet with me, because being here in Rhode Island is, it's kind of special to me. It makes sense to me. It's the Portuguese bakeries, it's the Portuguese little shops. So I appreciate you being here today to kind of tell us about the Portuguese in Rhode Island. And we've been here for a long time, haven't we?
Oh, we certainly have.
Yeah.
It's a very fascinating history. And when you say we've been here a long time, we really have. It's the smallest state in the Union. Right. But we have the highest percentage of Portuguese in the country per capita.
Travel through Rhode Island towns like East Providence, Pawtucket, Warwick, and Bristol, and you won't have to look far to see the thriving Portuguese community and its impact on the history of the state dating back as far as the late 17th century. We came as whalers, fishermen, and farmers looking for a better way of life.
Whaling was a huge attraction.
Right.
And they would be on these whaling ships for 2-3 years. But then there was a migration from Massachusetts into eastern Rhode Island, where some of the Azoreans then took up farming. That was the attraction, because if you could have your own plot of land, that was huge, because they didn't in the Azores. They were tenant farmers. Following that era, you're going into the beginning of the 1900s. But what brought them, it was definitely the textile mill. They were willing to work.
It was the hard work and determination that those Portuguese immigrants possessed in the textile mills that has lifted the Portuguese American experience to where it is today. The Portuguese contributed to communities not only in Rhode Island but across the country. It's all rooted in the traditions, heritage, and the love we all grew up with.
Did you grow up with the traditions, the Portuguese traditions?
Yes, Vovó made masa. It was always a small loaf for each of the grandchildren with the hard-boiled egg in
inside,
it. And then the larger one for the family.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time that my Medina and I went to San Miguel, it was like a piece of the puzzle of my life fell into place.
Isn't that something?
It was, oh, this is where I'm from.
Yeah.
This is where I belong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you feel at home.
It's a wonderful feeling.
Yes, it is.
My time with Marie was a joy, but it was time to go out and explore a little of Rhode Island, to see the influence of my Portuguese heritage firsthand. We know that the story of the Portuguese people goes way back in Rhode Island history. But where are we today? What are the Portuguese Americans doing now? Well, I think I found my answer in the heart of downtown Providence, Rhode Island, in the form of a one-of-a-kind food truck.
Hey there, how are you?
How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you so much.
Levi Medina is the proprietor of the Portu-Galo food truck, and today he's set up in downtown Providence in Lincoln Square. His passion for cooking led him to pursue a unique way to bring Portuguese food to the masses.
So Levi, what motivated you to start the truck?
Well, I've always loved cooking since I was probably 11, 12 years old. It's always been a passion of mine.
Yeah?
Always wanted to get in the food industry. Wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do in the food business, but we were the first ones with a Portuguese food truck. Kind of rode the wave of the food trucks becoming popular across the whole country, but that's the first Portuguese food truck. Yep. It's a beautiful day in Providence.
It is a beautiful day in Providence.
Beautiful city.
Yeah.
So we should get pretty busy for lunch today.
All right, Levi, so what are you going to have me do today? What are we doing?
So we'll start off with marinating some Bifana sandwiches.
Oh,
which
beautiful.
Is, the pork loin.
Yeah.
I'll have you do that for us. In a few minutes, we'll be ready to open up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go do this. I can't wait. I can't wait.
With the lunch crowd already milling around, we had no time to waste. Levi had to get me up to speed on prepping the lunch rush, and it all starts with the marinade.
All right, so we have some really lean pork loin. We only use pork loin for our sandwiches, virtually zero fat. So we'll start with some fresh garlic,
You're going to add garlic. I don't
Exactly.
think there's anything wrong with that.
some Portuguese crushed pepper paste, a couple secret spices that I'll leave behind. But
Because it is a secret. There's a reason why people line up
Yeah.
for your food here.
not too spicy, but just enough.
And then,
And then a little bit of salt.
because you've got the pimenta moída, which brings in salt.
Has also salt, yes,
Yep.
correct.
And then mix all
together,
together. Okay. And there it is. And that's all you
Very
do.
basic, very simple. Yeah, we'll start making some sandwiches. I'm sure some people will start lining up in a few
Yeah.
minutes.
Okay.
And once we cook the pork loin, we'll add a couple toppings on it, depending on what sandwich they order. We've got the Portu-Galo Bifana, top it with the garlic aioli and caramelized onion.
Nice.
That's like my little twist on the Bifana. And then we have a Lisbon, which is straight mustard and onion. And then we have a St. Michael. This one's gonna have hot peppers on it. It's
Yeah.
a mixed green since the island is so green. So, yeah.
I love it.
Little did I know that marinating would be the easiest thing I would do. Once the truck opened for business, Levi had the ill-advised idea for me to work the register and take orders.
All right, Maria, you ready to work? We have a line now, so we need to start.
Oh my God, okay. I'm gonna screw this up. You're gonna be my guinea pig. Are you okay? What would you like, honey? Brava fries?
Yeah, Brabus fries are French fry topped with the garlic aioli and the spicy sauce. Her name, please.
Oh, your name? My next victim? Yes. Which sandwich? Oh, wrong one. Okay. The pressure. I don't know if I can do this. And I have no idea. I'm messing up.
Yeah, we only use that for
Hi, honey. I'm so sorry. I'm taking so long. So 3, 4, 5.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
3181.
Christina? That was Christina.
It didn't take long for Levi to realize that my talents may be best served on the grill, and I got to learn what it's like to cook in a food truck.
Crack an egg.
Okay.
They're kind of hot, so just be careful. We'll hit it with a little canola oil. Maybe just flatten it out a little bit. Yeah,
I want to flip it now.
perfect. And then
I
we'll
want to
just,
move the egg.
careful, it might be hot. All right. On the truck, we actually crack them a little,
Oh, you do.
just so when you bite into the sandwich, you have a little egg yolk throughout the whole
Oh, okay.
sandwich.
2 of them there?
Yep,
Can I do that too?
yep, right on top of the,
I did it.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're a professional, so.
I'm going to hand it back to you.
Sure, thank you.
Finally, it was my turn to try one of those delicious Bifana sandwiches, and Levi didn't make me choose. We got to sit down with all 3 styles.
3 different Bifanas.
Okay.
So we have the Lisbon here,
Now, which one is the bestseller?
the Portu-Galo.
Which is your trademark?
Yeah, the garlic aioli and the caramelized onions.
All right.
And then second is actually the St. Michael. It's a little
Okay.
spicy, but
It's a little
I think you
spicy?
can handle it.
I think I can?
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you know me that well? I don't know, Levi.
I'll take a bite of the Portu-Galo.
Okay, perfect. Oh, I can see the peppers already in there.
How is it?
Whoa, there is a kick.
Yeah, so it's a little spicy.
It is a kick.
Yum.
You were not kidding. That's good.
Yep.
You know, this is supposed to be our fast food.
Yep.
This is good food.
Yeah, it's good food fast, right?
Yes, it is. It's up. That's a perfect way to say it.
Maybe we try the Lisbon next, since it's kind of very different from the St. Michael, since it's got yellow mustard on it.
It's yellow mustard and caramelized onions.
Yep, but you can get it however you want off the truck. You know, we're flexible with that. It's gonna taste really different than St. Michael,
yeah.
you know.
Oh, but that's really good.
Yeah, it gives a different profile.
I mean, you've got the nice mustard taste in there, and the onions are just as smooth.
Yep, the onions are just like
Kind of cool it off.
Yep.
That's a beautiful combination.
Yeah, thank you.
This one is
Bestseller, most popular.
Bestseller.
You know, most
okay,
popular.
I'm gonna flip over here.
Everybody loves the garlic sauce that we do.
Bestseller.
I'll take a bite with you as well.
Really good. I can see why.
Yep.
I mean, I'm from St. Michael. I love St. Michael.
Yeah, St. Michael's better for people that really like kick to the sandwich.
You know what? It's 3 great sandwiches you have here.
Thank you.
It's a whole different take.
Yep, like I said, it's you know, it's Portugal's national sandwich, basically. But we're the only ones in the area that actually do like specialize on the Bifana sandwich.
The Portuguese influence can be seen all over the state of Rhode Island. The coastal towns and vistas of the mighty Atlantic allowed many Portuguese immigrants to feel right at home here in Rhode Island, creating a lasting connection between this state and our Portuguese ancestry. Nowhere is that better displayed than at the Portuguese Discovery Monument at the tip of Aquidneck Island, located in Newport, Rhode Island. Dedicated to the Portuguese maritime navigators, this monument was designed by Charles de Almeida and was carved in Portugal. It resembles an old navigation tool and compass. It is a striking and beautiful tribute to the seafaring adventurers. Pawtucket, Rhode Island is not only home to many families of Portuguese descent, it is also where you can find one of the best Portuguese stews in all of Rhode Island. Tugas Restaurant is not the oldest Portuguese restaurant around, but it's making quite a name for itself. I went to find out what the fuss was all about, and it's there that I met Sandy. Oh, thank you for having me. This is beautiful here.
Thank you. Welcome.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about this place.
So we're a Portuguese restaurant.
Yeah.
We like to mix in Mediterranean food and American cuisine.
Yeah. I have to tell you, when I knew I was going to be filming in Rhode Island, I put the call out. Like, I need a good restaurant that I can go into. Who can I cook with, or who should I talk to? And your name kept coming up all the time. So whatever you're doing a great job.
Thank you to everybody that did that.
You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Let's go. Let's do this. On the menu is Carne Estufada, a traditional stew with origins in both the Azores and in the mainland Portugal. But Sandy does this dish her way, Tugas style. All right, so Sandy, what are we doing today?
So we're going to make carne estufada.
Oh, I love carne estufada.
It's my favorite.
How do we get started?
We need a nice piece of meat. You always want to make this bone-ins. The marrow definitely throws in a little bit more flavor. We have our own seasoning: salt, black pepper, crushed red pepper, and garlic powder. That's all you need to make your food taste good. I hope that you would agree.
I agree.
And what I like to do is rub it with the garlic olive oil, which I use religiously in almost every single dish that we use at Tugas. And you see by the marbling in this and all that fat.
When you're making something like this, you want it to have that extra marbling. You want it to have that fat.
And all that flavor is going to seep into that meat.
Absolutely.
So I've got about an onion.
Just one onion's enough?
I think so.
Okay.
For now.
And olive oil?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I like a lot of olive oil.
We're going to throw some more garlic in there.
Oh, beautiful. The whole thing?
I would.
Oh, yeah.
And a couple of bay leaves, if you don't mind.
Yep. It's over to the stovetop to saute our ingredients. The aroma of garlic and onions quickly fill the kitchen, and our sensory memories kick in.
And that's the best smell in the world.
Oh my God, it smells wonderful.
So welcoming, right? People walk in and they're like, what is that? And you're like, onions and olive oil.
And garlic.
So I'm just going to place it right on top of our refogado or sofrito, if you were Spanish.
Yeah.
So for me particularly, I like to put mushrooms, and you can use shiitake, but we're using white button today. I like to add fresh carrots, and I like to add chorizo, about a half a cup of red wine vinegar. And this is, of course, pimenta moída.
Yes, we're gonna make it hot.
So we're gonna add a cup of water. If you don't add water, it'll be winey.
Oh, okay. And you don't want that?
No.
Nope.
And I'm gonna add salt and salt. Today's particular case, we're using the tomato sauce, 1/4 of a can.
So now that everything is in the pot now, we're going to bring it up to a boil, correct? And then we're gonna lower it to a simmer, because that's usually what happens.
Yes.
And then how long do you like to cook it for?
45 minutes to an hour.
Beautiful. So now we're gonna let this be. It's steaming.
Da, 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 da.
Oh, wow, that looks beautiful. You can smell the garlic, the wine, the onion. It's just all real good.
Tem fome?
Um pouquinho, a little.
Tem fome.
Oh my, we're sharing this, correct?
No.
Yes, we are. We're both tasting it.
Well, no. I mean, we are sharing the pot, but I get half of it and you get the other half.
It's the wine talking now.
So your mom would serve it over boiled potatoes, which we would too, but
Yeah.
mostly mashed
Or
potatoes. Roasted.
Or roasted.
But I have a feeling that this looks very different than what you would have. You did more moda Azoreana,
Yes.
which is Azorean style.
Right. My mom would add a little bit in this meat, a little bit of cinnamon. That's the
Ooh.
only difference. Yeah, that's the only difference in the seasoning that you have versus what my mom would make. She would add just a little tiny little bit. Let's get a knife
Yes.
and fork and let's get into
Yes.
this. And guys, I'm gonna have to taste this. This is something that I have to do now. Do you mind?
No, you first.
I'm going in first. We're sharing a plate. There we're doing. I'm going in.
Oh yeah, you need that sauce and that potato.
Yes, 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 yes.
Steaming hot.
That is amazing.
Aw, thank you.
Okay, I'm not gonna eat this all by myself here.
See, if I was gonna eat this bone in,
Yeah, you're gonna be picking it up.
it would be in my
Yeah.
hand. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to eat like a lady.
We have to eat like a lady, Sandy.
Like,
You know, we
right.
have to be good.
So you gotta try that. That's like 10.
Oh,
Look at that.
nice. And I like the mushrooms are amazing in it. Now see, my mom never had mushrooms in it, but this is a definite, wow, that's really good. Right now, the cameramen and the crew all around me, they're all going nuts because they're saying, Maria, hurry up, because we want to have some. But you know what? I'm going to keep going. Yeah, this is awesome.
Now you have to try the chorizo. Now that it's been cooking in those spices.
And you know what? I just had another little piece of the other side of the meat, and it was even more tender than this
Right,
one.
because you have the
Bone on that one.
right,
Okay, this is the homemade chorizo.
right. Chorizo caseria.
Wow.
It's almost like a
That's-
cozido.
Yeah, it's smoked. Oh, honey, this has been fantastic. I can't thank you enough for letting us in your kitchen. Number one,
So exciting.
showing us how you make this amazing dish, and now we can all make it in our homes. And I can't thank you enough, Sandy. I can't.
Drink. Ching ching.
Ching ching.
Ching ching.
There are common threads when you think about a Portuguese neighborhood. Most of them will have at least one Portuguese restaurant, a Portuguese social club, a church, and maybe the most important thread of all, the neighborhood bakery. Rhode Island has its fair share of bakeries, and with just one smell, you get transported back to the old country, to where the freshest of breads, like the world-famous Bolos or Furnas, are made. It was time to do a little baking of my own, a family staple growing up, the Bolos. Today I have a very special treat for you. We are going to be making Bolos. We were in St. Michael and we saw the ladies making those Bolos, and then I got to enjoy some of it. Well, the thing is you can make Bolos at home. Before we start making the Bolos, we've got to work on the yeast. And the way to do it, regular yeast, you're gonna add the sugar to it. We have warm water. And we're gonna whisk that together. There's some people that just like to spoon it together. I kind of like to whisk it together and make sure that it dissolves a little bit in there. We're going to whip up these 6 eggs with some sugar, and we're gonna start whipping up these babies. And we're gonna add sugar to this. This is gonna be easy, and if you follow these directions, you're gonna be able to do this for your family.
My two sisters married two brothers, and this is their mom's recipe. Rosalina Pimentel. And Rosalina Pimentel is from São Miguel, from the village in Pufação. This is nice and whipped. And once again, we're going to kind of leave this to the side as we go on to the next phase. What you're gonna do is you're gonna put your flour here and you're gonna make a well. You're gonna push up the flour off to the side and you're gonna create an opening here. As I have a cup of milk that I've warmed up with a stick of butter, which is a quarter cup of butter. I'm gonna stir that and we're going to pour right in the center of the well, okay? You're going to add half a teaspoon of warm water into a half a teaspoon of salt into the liquid. This is the way to get it so that salt gets into all of the dough. The other thing we're going to be adding zest of a lemon. Look how beautiful that is. I'm getting all excited just showing this to you. Here it is. Now that we've added the zest, we're going to start now getting really down and dirty in here. So hand in the center, I'm going to move it around. It's a very sticky dough, so don't be afraid of that. We're going to keep adding more liquid, the creamed eggs with sugar in there, and we're going to add that right in there. And you know what? I could get a spatula and make this nice and clean, but why? I mean, I'm using my hands. Back again. Working it in.
If you want to know where Vava, or Grandma, got her strength, it was right here, kneading dough to make breads like bolos Lêvedos or sweetbread. It's a chore, sometimes done best with a helping hand.
I remember my mom making this. It wasn't a single batch like this, a little half batch. It would be the bigger one using the 5-pound bag. And she would either hold this down and my dad would be in there working the dough, or she would be doing it and she would have one of us holding this down to use both hands. This is why you don't mess with a Portuguese woman. They've been doing this. We've got nice round arms here.
Now the dough is well kneaded and very sticky. We sprinkle some flour around the dough and cover it to allow it to rise. The first rise can take several hours. After the first rise, we roll the dough into smaller balls, place on a cookie sheet, and wait for the second rise.
So now what we're gonna do is we're just going to cover this up with saran wrap, put a towel over it, keep it in a nice warm place, and we're just gonna let it do what it needs to do. We actually waited 2 hours. Had the saran wrap over it, and now it's a little sticky, and this is the reason why I always put a little bit of flour on the very top. Look how beautiful they are. They're all risen, they're all a little puffy, and this is perfect. This is how we want it.
There are several ways you can make bolos Lêvedos. The traditional way, with a cast iron skillet, or the more modern way, using an electric skillet. Today, I'm going to go old school with my bolos Lêvedos.
There is no oil on this. This is just a hot skillet with flour, okay? And I'm gonna put that down. I'm gonna do another one. That. All right, let's do a third. Just shape it the way you want to. And then, but you're gonna be flipping it over and over again. All right, puff up. Look at that already. See a whole different color. Don't want to rush it because you want to make sure that the inside gets cooked. It looks so cute. And if you ever question when you're making this, if it is done on the inside, you could always take, just like with a cake tester, and go in. If it comes out wet, it still isn't done. The thing is we're using cast iron, and cast iron is a really good heat conductor. So you've got to be careful on the stove that you're working with. But for this here, you want to do it low and slow. The colors are looking nice, and look how puffy. So now look how great these look. Look at that. This is your bolos Lêvedos is done. We're just gonna put this in the basket with some other ones that I've made before.
Nothing is quick and fast about making bolos lêvedos, but through hard work and patience, the end result is quite divine. There are several ways you can enjoy your bolos lêvedos: with butter and jam, with some fresh cheese, or even as a sandwich roll. For me, I like it a little more simple.
So I've already cut one here, and look at this. This is like still steamy hot inside. Personally, I like to eat it with a little bit of butter on it. And when it's fresh, I don't toast it. The next day, it's nice when you toast it. A little bit of butter and a little bit of jam. It's really up to you, but bolos lêvedos at its best for me. A pat of butter and some jam, and it's the best with a nice cup of tea or a nice mug of coffee. You can't go wrong. Oh my goodness. Amazingly delicious. So good.
It doesn't matter how many times I make bolos lêvedos. I am transported back to my childhood, to my family kitchen and the smells that remind me of home, of where me and my family come from. Proof positive that it's the food that connects me to my Portuguese heritage like nothing else.